morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where and what time of day you're watching this. It is a new day, and I am off to actually the pick and pull scrapyard, junkyard. I was up till ungodly hours last night and realized I hadn't gotten any notifications from my local junkyard, which I usually, get some for Tacomas that come in. Basically, when new cars come in that I tell up that, make and models that I'm interested in. When they come into the yard, I usually get an email or something, and I realized I haven't gotten anything in months. So went to look at their site and realized that all my alerts were, for some reason, turned off. And about 53 days ago, they had a 1991 Honda Prelude come into the yard. Good and bad. Good because, holy crap, third gens never come in. This is the second one I've ever seen at this junkyard. And bad because it's already been there for like 2.5 months. So we're gonna head there now, see what we can find, see what's still on the car, if anything, and hopefully the car is still there. Sometimes they just don't even update the website. So we shall find out, but onwards to the junkyard.
So I have a confession to make. I screwed up my audio on this entire clip at the junkyard. And what you're seeing here is a 1991 spray painted black Honda Prelude that has been completely gutted. I was hoping to take the air intake that was right there. That's gone. Obviously the whole front bumper is gone. Most of the engine's been picked apart. It does have these wheels, which I'm, slightly wondering if might be worth taking for the 88 just so it can roll around. Not sure if this came off the car, maybe not. But over here, I'm trying to basically just get a good walk around and see how everything looks. Interior is obviously gutted. The back still has the... Okay, I guess I'm trying to overlay some voiceover here for you, but taillights are gone. Rear bumper is pretty much stock. Exhaust is gone. And basically just getting a walk around. It looks like somebody took a bunch of interior bits, half of this seat fabric, completely disrespected the clock and took that apart and just left a massive mess. So somebody obviously got to this car long before I did and snagged a ton of stuff. Not much I can really use. The center console's taken apart. I was going to grab the steering wheel, but that is in horrendous condition with some duct tape wrapped around it. So not going to be useful there. I wanted to put it on the 88, so that way I can take my quick release steering wheel off instead of having to use that. And in the trunk, we have the stock antenna, which honestly would have been pretty useful, but is also wrapped up with tape and broken, so useless. And then we've got a spare, which looks to be in decent shape, but it has, tire chart is roasted on it. So I already have one of those. Not much else I need here. The trunk does have the factory spoiler on it, which I think is probably one of the only things I'm really going to need off this car. Not for my own, but just to honestly, hopefully sell to one of you guys that could use it. So I may take that. And then tires on these are roasted. I think the wheels might be worth something, but then I'd have to put new tires on them. So it's honestly probably not worth my time based on how much the junkyard is actually going to charge me for these. So I will probably pass on those. And stock suspension to get this door trim off that I'd love to put on my 91 Prelude. And this one here, I'm going to have to probably take apart the entire rear door card and try and get at the clips that put them in there. So I managed to get this piece off by basically just pulling back this trim or this plastic here and then reaching in to get the clips undone so I didn't break any of them. And then I'm going to have to completely take apart this door card. Oh, here's the front bumper. Take apart the door card from the inside to get at the clips that hold this one on. So definitely a lot more time intensive and may or may not even be worth it. This door card kind of has to come off for me to get access to everything behind it. Someone put like a weird
bolt in there. I might have to take off to be able to get this to release a bit more. But I think we're almost there.
And back to broken audio. I managed to get the door card off, and as I was pulling the clips out, the entire trim just bent and is basically useless because of this clip that I couldn't get to. And so that was all for absolutely nothing. This one is completely useless now, so I can't, there's just no point in me even swapping it. So I still have that one right there, and then I'm going to take the trunk spoiler.
Well, it's flipping hotter than a hoochie coochie out here in southeastern Tennessee. I've left the junkyard now. I have secured for $30 or $36, I think, the trunk spoiler and that little piece of trim. I would have really liked to get the door trim of everything on that car. That's really what I was hoping to buy, and unfortunately, it was just way harder to get off than I was anticipating. So, you know, on my car, like the little piece of trim that I grabbed successfully, I don't really need it. I mean, it would have been, it's like a little dinged up on mine, but not terrible. Whereas the driver's side door trim, I could really use a new one. So that's a bummer. The spoiler, obviously you guys have seen I already have one. So at this point, that one is going to hopefully be a flip. I'll probably spend some time sanding it up, at least throw some primer on it, and look to sell it. So kind of restore it. And then if anybody is in need of a 1990 to 91 style 3rd gen Prelude trunk spoiler, let me know. And shoot, man, if you want it without me doing all the work to it, sell it to you for even cheaper. But I'm on my way home now. I've got a laundry list of things to do on the cars today. So see you guys when we get home. After drying overnight from yesterday's paint job, the windshield wiper arms for the Prelude are in much better shape. Give you guys a closer look. Definitely an improvement over the basically sun-bleached metal, and now they're all black. And basically it's just gonna blend into the windshield and the black windshield cowl a lot better instead of having that popped aluminum from the sun beating down on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these reinstalled. So grabbing our wiper blades, which honestly seem to be in pretty good shape still. I want to say the longer one was on the driver's side and the shorter one was on the passenger side, and shorter arm goes on passenger as well. So we'll get this reinstalled. Try not to scratch any of the paint, but this should be, I mean, I let this dry well over 24 hours, so this should be good to go. There we are. Put the clip down. That's one. And number two. There we are. Clip. And ready to put back on the car. Just got to pop the hood because it makes getting access to the mounting points a heck of a lot easier. Yeah. Yep. Nope. One hand is pretty hard to do this with. Okay. Hood is propped. So now we can come over here. I've got one cap there, bolt, and we'll pull this one off of there and get that ready to go. Yoink. Driver's side. And if my memory serves me right, this was a 14 mil Just put that there. Now they do kind of have to go on a certain way. Like there's little notches basically. And I'm going to try and do my best to just put it back the exact way it was. And I think something along those lines. But you can always adjust them by taking them back off. And basically, like, there's ridges on that bolt for the wiper arm to sit on. And you just want it to make sure that's tight. You obviously just slide it over those ridges, and then those ridges indicate where the wiper arm starts. So I think that's actually good. I can almost see like the lines from where the wiper blade sat before. So I'm trying to mimic that, and then grab the passenger side and do the same thing. We get our nut back on there and tighten her down. That should be tight enough. And then I'm excited to see what this looks like. I can already tell that looks so much better. Oh yeah, that's freaking awesome. Such an improvement. And you probably can't even see the windshield wipers that well, or the arms, because they're black now, whereas before they were like sun bleached aluminum, like all the paint had come off, basically was the same thing as what's going on here. And now they just blend much more into everything, and they don't pop. Like, they're just windshield wipers. They're not meant to pop. And I love that now they look a lot more discreet. But like anything else, you fix one thing and it just makes something else look so much worse. Like, I need to eventually take this cowl off and take off all this old flaking. Look at this, just flakes right off. Take all that off and paint that black as well, because that would really tie it all together. And this side's the worst part. Look at this. I mean, don't mind all the overspray from buffing and waxing, but ugh, looks so bad. Needs to get cleaned up. But the wiper arms look freaking great. Back to OEM. And this paint, if you take your time, looks pretty dang good. So very OEM. Now behind all of this clutter, I have these. Basically, they're springs for the trunk, and they're spring rod springs. And basically, these ones are the ones that my buddy gave me from his 3rd Gen Prelude with the spoiler. And apparently, these springs that were on the cars with factory spoilers are more heavy duty to accommodate for the extra weight of the spoiler. So when you pop the trunk, let me show you. Basically, when you pop the trunk, this just wants to fall back down. And once you get to a certain point, it should want to come up. And so I still have, I don't know if you can see that, there they are. The factory rods that go in here. And you can manhandle it, but you kind of need a tool to be able to swap them. It's a specific tool from Honda. So I may, pull like a little Amazon order, do what I need to do, and then return it, assuming I don't bugger up the tool. And because it's going to take me 2 seconds with the correct tool to swap these springs, and then I'll never need it again. But order of operations really is to finish buffing. I need to definitely finish buffing like this right here, and then along the door, because the roof is already done. And then all I have to do, obviously, do the same thing on the other side, and then I can reinstall the rear windshield visor, and that will all be said and done. And then I think to do this correctly, I'm going to take off the spoiler, as much as I don't want to. I'm going to take it back off so that way I can paint correct underneath all of that, and then possibly wet sand the spoiler a bit more, and then reinstall it. Just so that way I can get underneath here. I just don't feel like I could do as good of a job if I don't take it off. So order of operations, get this all done, reinstall this guy, and then move on to the rest of the car. Well, if you can't tell, it's 95 degrees outside. This shirt is, it's actually supposed to be this color, but the whole thing is now a darker shade. So let me show you what I just did off camera, because it was really sketchy. With the trunk spoiler being added, so this Prelude came without a spoiler initially. And inside here, if you can see these black bars that run across here, there's 2 of them. Those are actually the springs that lift
the trunk up, and I just swapped them out for the ones that came with my spoiler. I asked the guy who sold me the spoiler to also give me those springs, because what they are is heavier duty springs to account for the weight of the spoiler. So basically and then it, it doesn't want to fall back down when you open it. So super sketchy, but let me see if I can brighten this up. Basically, they notch into either side here, and you have to like ratchet them and then pull it up and over to basically get this notched into here and keeping this over here. It's really complicated. Well, it's not really complicated, but it's really tough to show you on camera. But the trunk doesn't just like fall down anymore. It kind of has this nice like bounce to it. So very nice to have those installed. From basically where my hand is and up is done, except for the front bumper, is done being paint corrected. And then I can almost say the same thing for this side. I have to put wax on. I've done 2 of the steps, and I have to do wax on all of this up front. So then that leaves me with this rear quarter on the other side, the trunk, the spoiler, the bumper, and the front bumper. And it is, gosh, let me tell you, it is quite a long process to even such a small car like a freaking little 3rd-gen Honda Prelude. It is so much work to hit every nook and cranny with 3 different steps. So I'm rubbing compound, polishing compound, and then Caranuba wax on top of that. So, I mean, it's going to be worth it, but doing these daily vlogs, I also like can't, because I have to edit and then post it. I don't have, I basically have to stop here. So, and my freaking wheel cap still hasn't come in. So USPS is slacking. Tomorrow, we're going to be at the point where we can remount this rear windshield visor in a different way that's going to improve it. So look forward to that. And then hopefully we'll have that new wheel cap. Hopefully I can get this whole Prelude out of the garage, because I haven't driven it in a few days, which is kind of upsetting for me. So the spoiler that I picked up from the junkyard actually may already be accounted for. So might be going off to Germany, which is pretty cool. And if it doesn't sell, I'll keep you guys posted, and it'll be up for grabs. But what a day, man. Oh, I don't think I showed you this. So according to the last owner, this, don't mind like the residue of the wax and all that. Apparently, what I was told was a truck, like, I imagine slowly, but enough to like screw it up. A truck like kind of sideswiped all of this. And then if you can see right there, it's hard. Yeah, right there is a dent. But basically all of this is kind of screwed up. This is screwed up. This, like, it's kind of missing a bunch of the plastic here. And then this one is also screwed up. So I pulled this from the junkyard today, but I couldn't get this one, which is unfortunate. I guess now looking at them, they're both equally as bad. But now I only have this one, and I'll still need to source this one. So yeah, I wanted to show you guys what I was talking about for reference. And with all that being said, folks, I hope you're enjoying the daily uploads. It is a lot of work, but you know what? I am currently unemployed except for by YouTube. So what else do I have to do except improve my 3rd-gen Honda Prelude? Make sure you leave a thumbs up, comments down below, per usual, what your thoughts are on the video. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Adios. Lovely. I suck at this. I love you all. Keep elevating, my friends. Adios.